Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Navita. Today we are going to understand the topic compound interest. So children, we will understand this concept through one example. Let's say you have deposited some money in bank. Let's say you have fixed deposited a money for 5 years and you are going to get interest on that particular money every year. So from where this interest is going to come? It comes when bank uses your money to lend somebody who is in need of that particular money. He charges the interest to them, he earns the interest, and he gives the interest to you as well. Okay, so this is how the interest part work. We will not go in deep so much, but this is how the interest is coming. Now let's understand how the concept of compound interest works. So you will see that every year some interest is added to your deposited money. Okay, this interest is not same every year. How it goes? It goes on increasing year after year. So every year you will see that the amount is increasing for the interest. So this is because at the end of the first year, simple interest is calculated and added to the principal and to get this amount. Okay, so now this amount becomes the principal for next year, and next year at the end of the second year, so the amount is found by adding the principal and the interest, and this amount becomes the principal for the third year, and it goes on till 5 year, when the period of 5 years is completed for your deposit. So now you can see that each year when the principal changes, interest is calculated on the amount of the previous year. So when interest is calculated in this manner, we call it compound interest. The formula for compound interest is A is equal to P, and in brackets 1 plus capital R upon 100. We'll close the bracket and it will be to the power of n. So what is P here? P is the principal amount and R is rate of interest per annum. N is time period, which we call also capital T. Okay, now let's see the simple interest. As I said, simple interest is calculated in the very first year for compound interest. Okay, and when we obtain the principal from next year, the interest is compounded. So the formula for simple interest is PRT upon 100, where P is principal amount, R is rate of interest per annum, and T, as I said, it is time period. Now let's see when the rate of interest is given different for different years. So suppose R1 be the interest for the first year, we will take R2 as the interest for second year and R3 the interest for the third year. So the amount after 3 years is will be given as with this formula. A is equal to P in bracket 1 plus R1 upon 100. We'll multiply it while closing the bracket. Again we'll open the bracket. In the next bracket it will be 1 plus R2 upon 100, and again multiply, and then in next bracket it will be 1 plus R3 upon 100. So this is how the interest will be calculated for different years. The next pattern, where interest is compounded annually when time is given as a fraction. So when time is given in fraction, the time period, for example, if I take 3 upon 4 years, then the formula to calculate it will be A is equal to P in bracket 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 1, and into again in brackets 1 plus 3 by 4 r upon 100, and we'll close the bracket. So we have divided this year in two parts, that is 1 which is whole part and 3 by 4 years which is the fraction part, and we'll multiply, we'll calculate it different and then we will multiply it. Now let's see the interest compounded half yearly or quarterly. First we will see half yearly. So there are 2 half years in 1 year. So the number of compounding periods will be 2n. Okay, and the rate of interest will become r upon 2. So we can calculate the formula using this formula, that is A is equal to P in brackets 1 plus r upon 2 upon 100, and we'll close the bracket, and in power it will be 2n. Now let's see how we will calculate it quarterly. So we have 4 quarters in year. So the rate of interest here will be R upon 4 and time period will be 4n. And the formula will be A is equal to P in bracket 1 plus R upon 4 upon 100 and bracket close, in power it will be 4n. So children, this was the explanation for the compound interest in different ways. And if you like the video, do share it, like it. Thank you so much.